Hello, this is Grandmaster Ted Gambardella with the first of my series on 10 things you need to know to be a great mixed martial arts fighter. The first thing you need to know is how to punch like a boxer, not a karate fighter. I've been practicing karate and jiu-jitsu for 47 years and I know how to punch like a karate person. I can break bricks with my hands. I can break 2 inches of wood from 1 inch away. I can drive my finger through 2 inches of wood. I can throw a board in the air and break it in the air. I can break a board with my left hand and my right hand at the same time. I can drive a nail through a board with my head. I can break 1 inch of wood with 1 finger. I can break 4 inches of wood with my elbow. I can jump in the air and break boards over my head hanging. I can do amazing board breaking and punching techniques. And if I tried to use any of them in an MMA ring, I would get my butt kicked in short order. Why? Because karate punching techniques do not work in an MMA fight. They might work in the street, but they don't work in an MMA ring, and they certainly won't work for you. Let me explain why. In all the scenarios I spoke about before with my board breaking powers, I usually get myself psyched up with mental exercises and breathing exercises. And I'm sure you've seen all the great karate masters deep breathing and using their ki and getting ready and then doing impressive breaks. Now, a few things have to happen. The karate masters have to get focused. They have to concentrate on the specific board they're going to break. They have to get their mind focused. They have to begin breathing and getting their mental focus. Then they have to make their movement with a loud kia! Break the boards. It's very important that the boards being held are held correctly and do not move or allowed to move. They must be at the exact height you've been practicing and facing in the exact direction you've been practicing. It's a great show and it's very impressive, and let me assure you, if your opponent in the MMA ring were to stand still and put his jaw right here, and you were to get ready and use all your power, you could easily knock him out with a karate punch. But unfortunately, he's not standing still. He'll be moving, and he'll be attacking you. So unless you can do your karate punches from a moving position on a moving target, you will get your butt knocked out before you do your punch. Karate techniques, punching techniques, do not work in an MMA fight. But I know you're saying, we practice hitting moving targets. We practice hitting the moving target. And I say, no, you don't. You practice moving and hitting the moving target for points. Your teacher does not allow full contact, especially for younger students, or he wouldn't have very many students left in his school very long. The best way to lose your karate students is to knock them unconscious in class while mom and dad are watching. You know, I've taught tens of thousands of karate classes, and most of the time we get into deep horse stance, and we punch left, right, 1 at a time, 2 at a time, 3 at a time. And we get into deep horse stances, and we do shoe toes, 1, 2, and we do forward, 1 punch and 2 punches. And we punch very hard on our left and our right, and we do cat stances and shoe toes. And sometimes we do moving punches. And we do 1, 2, 3 combinations, and we yell hard and punch. And then we back up 3 times and do combinations. We punch the students' heads when they're moving in a 1-step stance. And we do our punches and shoot-os and our backhands while they stand still. Or I've already punched and locked their punch and are holding for you to do your counter technique. It's quite different in a boxing club. They move, they dance, they punch heavy bags, they punch speed bag, they punch at moving targets, they punch at moving pads. You know, they duck, bob, and weave, they slide, they move in, they throw combinations moving out, they wrap their hands so they won't break their hands because they hit so hard. And they hit so often that they would break their hands if they're not wrapped. Now here's a special note. Some people think you wrap your hand of a boxer so you won't hurt your opponent. It's just the opposite. You wrap your hand so you don't break your own hand. It hurts more with a wrapped hand to hit your opponent than it does without a wrapped hand. Wrapping your hands make them harder and do much more damage to the other guy. But the reason a boxer wraps his hand so he won't break his hand when he hits the other guy in the head. It's quite different training for a karate class and a boxing class. I train in a very high-end health club in Dallas that just built a state-of-the-art boxing room. And it has 4 heavy bags and some speed bags and some gloves and some pads. And they want to call it a boxing room. And they want to teach boxing. And I keep telling them over and over again, the fastest way to get sued and lose all their clients at this high-end sports club is to do a boxing class. And start punching the doctors and lawyers and the judges that are members of their club and knocking them out. You see, real boxing consists of 2 people hitting each other as hard as they can in the head with the intention of knocking someone out. And sometimes in the body with the intention of doing bodily damage. It's a violent sport, not a feint sport, and not for the fun workout. Real boxers will hurt you. They'll hurt you and they'll damage your brain for life if you let them punch you in the head. And that's one of the reasons you should train like a boxer, not like a karate person. So how do you punch like a boxer? You punch while moving at a moving target with speed and power with both hands and with no feet. You condition your body to go 2 to 3 minutes with full power and full contact. You condition your mind to be ready to accept getting hit and getting hit hard and getting hit back and hitting harder and more often than the opponent is hitting you. You run long distances. You build your wind. You sprint. You build your endurance. You bob. You weave. You do uppercuts. You do jabs. You do crosses. You do punches with your left and right. You do combinations. It's nothing like you train to do karate punching. And the conditioning is totally different. So if you want to be a great MMA fighter, you have to stop practicing like a karate puncher and start practicing like a boxer. That means you need a teacher who knows how to punch like a boxer and train you like a boxer. And it takes years and years to be a great karate student and years to be a great boxing teacher. You have to train like a boxer for a lot more than just a few months if you think you're going to be a good boxer or even a great boxer. It takes the same kind of commitment you gave when you started doing karate to become a great karate student as it does to become a great boxer. It takes years of practice and hard work and requires a great karate student or a great karate boxer to teach you. If you've ever seen a great MMA fighter, you're watching someone who knows how to punch like a boxer. This is Grandmaster Gambardella. I'll see you next time with more tips.